so far and not. Audio test 1, 2, 3, 4 on the Concordia Cougars network as we get set for kickoff at 1 o'clock between the visiting Britons of Albion College and your Concordia-Chicago Cougars. Cougars come in with a record today of 1 win and 1 loss on the early 2018 portion of their season, while for the Britons of Albion College, they come in unbeaten so far in their portion of non-conference play at 2-0. Quarter, scoring 19 points in that second quarter, so it was a big spark of offense in that second quarter of play. Nevertheless, he wasn't able to keep up with the Olivet offense respectively throughout that entire 4 quarters of action that we saw, and we're good. So we'll be back in a little bit and get you set for kickoff here on the Concordia Cougars Network. We welcome you on this gorgeous Saturday afternoon here from Concordia Stadium, the home of your Concordia-Chicago Cougars, as they get set to get back on the gridiron this afternoon in a battle with the Britons of Albion College. Good Saturday afternoon to wherever you may be tuning in to the Concordia Cougars Network. I'm Ryan Fay, going to be with you here for the next couple of hours on a gorgeous day. Bright sunny skies, not a cloud in the sky to report. Winds coming out of the southeast direction at a little bit of a gust, but not a major one here early on in our pregame segment. If you're just catching up with Cougar football, the Cougars coming off of a 52-25 loss over at Olivet College last Saturday, as they'll be looking to rebound here to go to 2-1 on the season. And if you were with us for our Week 1 home opening broadcast, they defeated Beloit College by the score of 36-10. So that's how the Cougars got to their 1-1 mark so far this season. And for the Britons of Albion College, who are facing the Cougars for the first time ever, there have been no prior meetings between these two teams coming into action today. And a note for the Cougars, this is the first meeting, as I mentioned, between the two institutions, and it's the 7th and final football playing institution out of the MIAA Conference, which is the Mid-America Athletics Conference, who the Cougars have engaged with on the football field over the last several years. And for the Britons coming into action today on the road, they are unbeaten so far in their non-conference portion of the season at 2 wins and 0 losses, and a recent 56-35 win over at home against Franklin College. It was a big night for sophomore quarterback Kyle Thomas, who racked up 542 yards of offense in that 21-point victory over Franklin College. Thomas threw for 466 yards in that game, and he ran for 76. Colby Canfield led the way on the receiving end of it with 135 yards. And in that game, though, for Franklin College, not to be outdone, Braden Smith threw for 374 yards in that 56-35 loss for Franklin College. So it was quite the gunslinging battle between both quarterbacks in that matchup last Saturday. And as for the Britons, a couple of guys to look out for today. Going to be a trio of running backs we want to keep an eye out for. A couple seniors and a junior. Doug Freeman, who has 140 total rushing yards on the season so far. Also in the backfield that we'll be seeing throughout the afternoon is Mike Serzo and number 23, Markel McCoy, the 6-foot junior for the Britons. And on the side for your Cougars, as we talked about, going to be seeing probably a trio of quarterbacks come into the game here today, as in particularly starting this one off for the Cougars. We were told that getting the start today for Concordia-Chicago is going to be number 12, the freshman quarterback Jordan Sepulveda. The freshman from Lake Worth, Florida, is going to get the start today, and we'll get to more of this and the kickoff for the Britons and your Cougars, as we'll now turn it over now to public address announcer Jim Egan.
Concordia team chaplain Bill Stevenson, class of 76.
Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for this beautiful day. We thank you for the game of football and the lessons it teaches these young men about life. We thank you for all the family and friends that drove here to participate in the game today. And we ask that you protect the players on the field as they battle. We pray this all in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Please remain standing as we honor America, the men and women of our military, and our first responders. Our national anthem this afternoon will be played by the Concordia University Cougar Band.
So a nice rendition of our national anthem provided by the Concordia University-Chicago Cougar Band as we get set for kickoff here from Concordia Stadium. As mentioning it before we got to our introductions and the national anthem, talked about a trio of quarterbacks that the Cougars have rolled out there so far through the first 2 weeks of action. Getting the most reps at quarterback so far has been the sophomore and number 2 Griffin Bodette. He's completed 18 of 37 on his passes for 131 yards. And mentioning him before we got to the national anthem was the freshman quarterback from Lake Worth, Florida, in Jordan Sepulveda. He's 8 of 17 so far in the season with 69 passing yards and 2 touchdown passes to go along with that. And also have given a couple of snaps in as well was number 7 and Rob Granquist, the senior quarterback from Powers, Michigan. As the captains meet at midfield and as we have the coin toss be underway, you'll be seeing the Cougars on your screen today here in their homeroom jerseys with the yellow pants and the gold numbers. And while for the Britons of Albion College, they'll be in their home white uniform, or I should say road white uniforms with the yellow pants and the light yellow pants and the light yellow helmets. So as the coin toss has commenced, we're just seconds away from kickoff here on the Concordia Cougars Network. I'm Ryan Fay with you here on the call for today, and I want to shout out the great guys behind the scenes doing the work to get this broadcast up, running, and good to go. Joe Quince, Neil O'Donnell, Matthew Kreika, and Zach Adamick as they were in the booth over to my right. Can we mention the Britons 2-0 unbeaten so far, coming into Week 3 action. As this is the last non-conference match for both teams, as NACC play for the Cougars begins in 2 weeks, as they'll get a bye week next week before they travel to Lakeland University on the 29th to begin conference play the rest of the season. It gets very home heavy, though, in the month of October for the Cougars. They got 4 games in the month of October. 3 of them will be here at Concordia Stadium. It'll be the Cougars who receive this kick here in the first half. Casey, number 5, back deep, along with number 20 and Andre Jones. And kicking this one end-to-end will be number 99, Matthew Fabry, the senior kicker for the Britons. Has the ball on the left hash, kicking it from his own 35. 15 minutes on the clock. Glad you're with us on this gorgeous Saturday afternoon from Concordia Stadium. Crowd gets lively as we get kickoff underway between the Britons and the Cougars, and off we go. As this one taken by Casey to the right side, gets towards the 30-yard line, and that's where this Cougars offense will come on out to start their opening drive here on their home turf at Concordia Stadium. As we mentioned, rumored to have been getting the start was number 12, the freshman Jordan Sepulveda, and he does roll out there with this Cougars offense on the near right hash. Lance Moise is in the backfield with him. There'll be 3 wide receivers out to the left, 1 to the right, 1 man in the backfield. I mentioned Sepulveda completing just under 50% of his passes so far through the first couple of weeks. But again, it's been a rotating trio of quarterbacks, as on the option, it'll be Moise carrying it up the middle for a gain of a couple to bring up second down. Just underway here at Concordia Stadium. Thanks for joining us here on the Concordia Cougars Network. So an official gain of 2 yards on the play brings it to second down and 8. Ball's at the 34-yard line. 3 out to the right, 1 to the left with a man in motion. And Sepulveda fakes the throw again. Moise will take the carry. Gets up the middle to the 40-yard line. It's going to be just short of the first down. But nevertheless, a good run there from the junior running back from Coral Springs, Florida, to make it 3rd down and short for the Cougars. No huddle offense here for Concordia. 2 out to the right, 2 to the left. Moise at the left hip of Sepulveda. 20 seconds on the play clock, as we played just 1 minute of game action here early on. Moise now at the right hip. As Sepulveda is going to keep it on the option, and he is going to lunge his way forward for a Cougar first down. Gain of about 3. Put the ball at the 44-yard line, and a new set of downs for Concordia.
Sepulveda, the keeper, picks up the first down for the Cougar.
So quickly the Cougars will work once again. 3 out to the left, 1 to the right. As Sepulveda will get the call from the sidelines. Mike Jessic, the new head coach for the Cougars in his first season with the program. And in his 22nd season and final season is Craig Rundle for the Britons, who is retiring after this season. Sepulveda draws back. He looks to heave it downfield to the right side. And down the field. And did he make the catch? No, they're going to say incomplete. As Samaj James, the freshman wide receiver, juggled it going to the ground, and the pass falls incomplete as he beat the secondary there along that right side for the Cougars. As in coverage there for the Britons was number 10, Daryl McIntyre, the senior cornerback, as he got about a step and a half on him going downfield. So 2nd down and 10. Sepulveda will hand it off to Moise once again. He rips off one defender, bounces off a second, but it's going to be a negative run play for the Cougars as he lost about 4 yards on that one. That's going to bring up 3rd and long here for Concordia. Sepulveda will get the call from the sidelines as the Cougars will need to get to the Albion 46 to convert on this 3rd down and 14. 2 to the right and left respectively. Sepulveda steps up in the pocket over the middle, pass incomplete as he was looking there for the intended wide receiver. And that was Robert Berrigan, the senior wide receiver from San Jose, California, who was in the area. Brings up 4th down. And looks like the Cougars were thinking about it for a second, keeping the offense on 4th down, but here comes the special teams unit. Back deep for the Britons is Rashawn Robinson, number 24. It'll be Brett Kruger kicking this one away, number 73 for the Cougars, left to right. Nice kick to the 25. Robinson muffs the punt. Ball's alive, and the Cougars say they have it, and they do. Technically a 4th down conversion, but with the special teams squad to get it done for Concordia. So the muff punt from Rashawn Robinson, the senior, gives the Cougars a boost and gives them some more momentum back as the freshman in Sepulveda will trot right back out to the field and start in Britons territory as they have the ball spotted at the Albion 25-yard line. 2 out to the left and right, ball at the right hash. Moise in the backfield, Sepulveda with the snap. As he gives it off to Moise, the running back, he's going to go to the right side, get down the sideline. He's going to tiptoe down it, and he gets inside the 5-yard line for a 1st and goal for the Cougars. Nice blocking there from the right side of that offensive line for the Cougars to give it a 1st and goal. So we have just over 12 minutes to play here in this first quarter. They spot the ball officially at the 3-yard line, so a gain of 22 on that run. Three out to the left. Nobody lined up to the right as a wide receiver. Bunched up on the right side are some eligible receivers. As this one, Sepulveda is going to keep it. Rips off one tackler, and he's going to get into the end zone for a Cougars touchdown. So the freshman from Lake Worth, Florida, keeps it on the 3-yard run and puts the Cougars on the board with 11:47 to play here in this first quarter. 6-0 Concordia. Orlando Hayes will be out to kick the extra point. Griffin Bodette, the sophomore, to hold it. The snap is bobbled. Bodette is going to fling it to the right side to try to make it and turn it into a 2-point conversion, as that pass there was intended for number 89, Joshua Van Dalsen, the freshman tight end. So the score will remain at 6-0, but nevertheless a muff punt by Rashawn Robinson is the reason why that drive, I guess you can say, quote-unquote, continued for the Cougars. And it was a 3-yard touchdown run from the freshman quarterback in Jordan Sepulveda that puts us at our 6-0 score with 11:47 to play here in this first quarter. As the Cougars now will come on out for the kickoff. It'll be Marlon Martin and Isaiah Gibson back deep for the Britons of Albion College. And kicking this one end to end will be Orlando Hayes from his own 35. Great crowd on hand here today at Concordia Stadium on this beautiful Saturday afternoon for college football action. Slight breeze out of the southeast direction, not a cloud in the sky to report. Temperature's a little above average for this time in the month of September, but we'll take it. It is a beautiful day outside. Hayes gets set for the kickoff as Martin and Gibson are back deep for the Britons. It'll be Martin to get this from about his own 3. Martin will go to the right side past the far hash, and he gets rustled down just ahead of the 20-yard line. So here comes the sophomore quarterback Kyle Thomas, who set records last week, racking up 542 yards of total offense, which were single-game records for total offense and passing yards, which he had 466 in that 21-point victory against Franklin College at home last week. 2 backs in the backfield, 2 receivers out to his left, 1 to the right as the back was in motion. And the handoff and bullying his way up the middle there was Doug Freeman, the senior running back. We mentioned leads the team with rushing coming into today's action with 140 yards total. There's a gain of about 7 there, makes it 2nd down and 3. Same formation once again. Freeman out to the left hip of Kyle Thomas. As this one, it'll be Freeman on the carry again. He's going to go to the far side. He's going to get the first down and more as he gets tripped up just past the 40-yard line. And it'll be an Albion College first down. As making the tackle there was a junior linebacker, number 13, Matt Henning. Henning, the local product from Crystal Lake, Illinois, the far northwest suburbs of the Chicago area, a Prairie Ridge alum. Prairie Ridge has been a good high school football product over the last couple of seasons as we get flags immediately after the snap, and it looked like the defensive line on the Cougars may have jumped a hair early. And we'll get the call from the official in just a moment. And actually call a false start. Originally, they were pointing on the side of the Cougars on the initial call, but nevertheless, they called a false start on Jordan Jambarski, number 76, the left guard, the 6'4", 270-pound left guard. So backs him up 5, 1st and 15. 2 out to the left, 1 to the right, as Freeman is going to get the carry once again. Gets past the 45 and taken down. Freeman at 5'11", 215 pounds, the senior running back from Niles, Michigan. Puts it to 2nd down and manageable, right near midfield for the Britons. 2 in the back, as Thomas, the left-handed throwing quarterback, throws to his left, as making the catch was the tight end Brian Blanzy, number 87. As it was minimal gain on the catch there from the senior tight end, as that'll bring up 3rd down for Albion College. They trail 6-0 as we have 10 minutes to play here in this first quarter. Thanks for joining us here on the Concordia Cougars Network. I'm Ryan Fay with you here on today's broadcast. Man in motion as Thomas has some time, throws to his right, and the pass is caught for a first down, and getting into Cougar territory was Colby Canfield, the sophomore wide receiver, number 15. And that will give the Britons a new set of downs in Concordia territory. Same formation once again, 2 men in the backfield, 2 receivers out to the left, 1 to the right. With the ball at the Concordia 36-yard line, as Thomas is going to keep it on the option. And he's looking for some blockers, tries to stutter step around a couple. He does. Tiptoes down the near sideline nicely. And I believe that is going to be enough for the first down based on where the official is standing on the far side of the field. And are they going to mark him? Sure, they mark him just short. 2nd down and maybe 6 inches to go. But a nice run from the sophomore quarterback in Kyle Thomas. As this one, the throw to the right, and a sliding catch made by Blanzy. Ball floated up in the air quite a bit. Had some extra hang time on it with the wind kind of going in against the throw. But another new set of downs for the Britons, with the ball spotted at the Cougars' 15-yard line, or 16-yard line, excuse me. Lanzi has been a big target early on as Freeman will get the run and gets tripped up for a gain of about 4 or 5. It'll be second down now for the Britons. About 9 minutes now to play in this first quarter. 2 to the left and 1 to the right. Thomas with the snap, and he's going to give this one now to Zach Surzo, as the other senior running back in the backfield is going to make sure that's enough for a Britons first down, and it's first and goal for Albion College as they try to answer off of a muffed punt from punt returner Rayshawn Robinson that led to a 3-yard touchdown run from Jordan Sepulveda. First and goal at the 6-yard line as Thomas throws to his right. Pass is deflected and incomplete. In coverage there was number 29 in Roberto Pierre-Louis, the freshman defensive back. Let me correct myself. Kelly Christian was the one in coverage, number 18. Kelly Christian there on the pass deflection to make it second and goal from the 7. Thomas is going to keep it on the option. He's going to throw to his left. Pass is incomplete. And actually, with that pass, the officials looked like they were ruling it a backwards pass, so it technically would have been a live ball if the Cougars were able to come on it. It would technically be a fumble recovery at that point. But the ball went out of bounds, and it brings now the Britons back to the 10-yard line to make it third down and goal. So a bit of a high-risk play there from the sophomore Kyle Thomas on the option keep. 3 out to the right now, 1 to the left. Play clock down to 7 as Thomas looks to his right, throws to the far corner of the end zone, looking there once again for Brian Blanzy, but the pass falls incomplete. And it'll be the kicking unit coming out here on 4th and goal. So good stop there on the goal line by the Cougars defense, as Andrew Fabry will now be out to kick it for perhaps 3 points right here. The snap, the hold, and the kick. It is up, and that one, a little bit of a hook on it, but it goes through the uprights and good. So Fabry gets the Britons on the board, and the score is now at 6-3. With 7:59 to play here in this first quarter of action. Again, thanks for joining us on this gorgeous Saturday afternoon from Concordia Stadium. Thanks for joining us here on the Concordia Cougars Network. I'm Ryan Fay with you here on the call for today's action. Again, I want to thank the guys behind the scenes for their great work and making this whole thing possible. Joe Krenz, Neil O'Donnell, Matthew Kreika, and Zach Adamick. 6-3 as we mentioned our score. Sepulveda, the freshman quarterback, had the 3-yard touchdown run to get the Cougars on the board. And it was a missed point after attempt in which Griffin Bodette, I guess you could say the second string quarterback, even though we're likely to see him in action today, along with the senior quarterback that we mentioned as well in Rob Granquist. So Fabry on the kickoff, right to left. Wind kind of pulls it back in a little bit as Andre Jones will take the return just ahead of the 30-yard line. And we'll see if we see any quarterback changes yet. It's not really been a matter of if. It could be just a matter of when. So we'll see how long Sepulveda stays in as quarterback. He goes out there once again. Sepulveda led a nice drive after the Cougars recovered a muffed fumble on the punt return attempt from Rayshawn Robinson on the side of the Britons. 3 out to the left, 1 to the right. 1 man in motion. As Moise now is going to get it on the handoff. As he gets just ahead of the 35 for a gain of about 4 yards on that run. So far on 5 carries, Moise's average has gotten just over 30 yards here. Trips left. Sepulveda looking to his left, and that's where he throws, and the pass is caught. Caleb Casey makes the catch, and that's enough for a Cougars first down to the far sideline. Clock will continue to wind with the chains being set, so we approach 7 minutes to play in this first quarter. 2 to the right and 2 to the left. Ball on the far hash. Moise at the right hip of Sepulveda. Play clock down now to 10. 1st and 10 on their own 44, leading 6-3. Sepulveda will fake the throw as Moise is going to take it. Tries to juke around 1 defender, gets tripped up just before the 50-yard line. And the clock will stop at 6:40.
Gain of about 5, but there is a flag on the play.
And there was a flag at the 45-yard line. Hear what the call is in a moment. So a hold brings that one back. As they called the holding there, number 54, the sophomore offensive lineman in Justice Silvera. As that puts it to 1st and 20. Moise will get the carry. Tries to bounce to the near sideline. Gets past the 40-yard line. And it has a gain of about 8 yards on that first down run. Still makes it 2nd and long, though. 2nd and about 12 coming up for the Cougars. As that was the 6th carry for Moise here so far, a junior from Coral Springs, Florida. 2 out to the left, 1 to the right. They marked that as a gain of 9 on that first down run. Sepulveda fakes the throw. Moise is going to get the handoff again. He's got some blockers ahead of him. Gets past the 45 for a first down. And gets taken down just ahead of the 40-yard line, and it's first down Cougars. Putting his head down and running that one through the nose of the defense was Lance Moise, the 5'11", 210-pound junior running back. So a new set of downs for Concordia. Ball at the Britons 41. Sepulveda hands it off to, you guessed it, Moise once again. Gets ahead of the 40. Penalty flag comes in behind the play. Mark that as a gain of about 5. We'll get the call here on the flag. And another holding penalty. As this one they call on Brett Kruger, the junior offensive lineman. So another nice run from Moise. Gets negated due to a holding penalty on the offensive line of the Cougars. Which makes it first down and 20 once again. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. And Sepulveda is going to hold it this time. He's going to face pressure, and he is taken down in the backfield for a big loss. As making that tackle was number 95 and David Akema, the sophomore defensive end, for his first sack of the afternoon. As this puts the Cougars back behind their own 45 at the 44-yard line. Market has 2nd down and 25 to go. They'll need to get all the way to the Albion 31-yard line to convert this. Sepulveda with the quick toss to the right there as he finds Tyler Martins. As that one is going to be a gain of about 4 yards on that one. Still brings up third down and a long way to go. As Moise got a break on that play. And he comes back in now on this third down. Just under now 4 minutes to play here in this first quarter. 6-3 our score. Thanks for joining us here on the Concordia Cougars Network on this beautiful Saturday afternoon from Concordia Stadium. 3 out to the right, 1 to the left. Nobody in the backfield with Sepulveda as he's going to go to the right side. Pass is incomplete. As in coverage there was Darrell McIntyre. As the intended receiver, Caleb Casey, had that one kind of go through his hands, and that brings up the fourth down, and the punting unit on out for the Cougars. So Rashawn Robinson, who muffed the punt the last time he was out on the field, will try to get some redemption for his team. As Brett Kruger will have this punt for the Cougars. High booming kick, nicely done, and that one goes just out inside of the 5-yard line. We'll see where the official spots it as they mark it out at the 10-yard line. So a nice punt there from the junior offensive lineman with the big boot to the near side of the field. As the Britons offense will come back out down by 3 with 3:31 to play here in the first quarter. Kyle Thomas so far 3 of 7 passing, only 27 yards. His longest was a 15-yard completion that led to the eventual field goal. As the run there to Freeman gets a gain of a few to make it second down. That was Freeman's 4th rushing carry of the afternoon here early on. 2 out to the left as it'll be Freeman getting the carry again as he kind of bulldozes his way over a couple of tacklers before eventually getting tripped up there, as in the area was number 47 and Rodolfo Payan, the senior linebacker. New set of downs now for Albion College. Ball officially spotted at the 23-yard line as once again they go to Freeman as he gets a gain of about 3 or 4. Freeman, as we mentioned, a stocky running back, 5'11", 215 pounds. 2nd and 6 as Thomas looks to throw over the middle in tight coverage, and it is a fingertip interception. Demetrius Rumpus, the junior defensive back, with the INT for the Cougars. That one, they were looking there for the freshman Justin Thomas over the middle on the slant, and that one hit off of his hands, and the ball just deflected towards the wheelhouse of Rufus, and he was able to hold on to it and make the interception. And a timeout called to the visitors in Albion College, as the crowd surely appreciates that one, as that's the first takeaway of the afternoon. I want to correct myself. I don't believe that was a team timeout from what the official said a moment ago. I think they were just confirming the ruling on the field. I think we'll be ready to go here in just a moment. The ball will be spotted at the Albion College 36-yard line. So the Cougars with yet another chance to add on to their 3-point lead, and whistles a blow here. And it looks like they're moving the ball back to the 39-yard line for the official spotting as they get the chain set now. Sepulveda and the Cougars offense back out there, 2 to the left and right respectively. Moise in the backfield at the left tip. And he's going to get the carry to the right side, just past the 40. Takes a hard hit, as leaning in with the shoulder there was Kamari Hurd, number 9, the sophomore outside linebacker. Gain of a couple to bring up second down. Under 2 minutes to play here in this first quarter of action. Moise in the backfield behind Sepulveda. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. As this one, Moise on the carry, goes past the 35-yard line. And it brings up 3rd down and manageable coming up for the Cougars. We approach 90 seconds to play here in this opening quarter. Crowd still filing on in here at Concordia Stadium. Bleachers getting more and more packed on this beautiful Saturday afternoon, which is a good sight to see as always. 2 out to the left and right. Moise at the right hip. Sepulveda is going to keep it, and he's going to throw a dart to the near side as this one is caught. That's Dinas Pinellas. As that one, as he fumbled it going to the ground, the Britons came up with it. So the freshman wide receiver will be charged with that fumble, and the Britons will take the ball back on offense, as the interception earlier from Kyle Thomas does not cost Albion College on that one, as the offense will come on out for the Britons with 1:02 to play here in the first quarter, still 6-3. 2 out to the left and right now with a man in motion from left to right. Thomas will give this one to Freeman, who charges his way up the middle past the 35. Gain of about 8 on that run to bring up 2nd and short. Same formation once again. Freeman over the middle, gets past the 45 towards midfield for a nice run and a easy 1st down run for Albion College. As the clock will once again run as the chains have been set. Freeman gets the carry again, and another big gain for Freeman. Freeman almost gets upended as Romario Coley, the sophomore, almost picks him up by the legs and tries to give him like a wrestling tackle. Clock now down to 15 seconds as the chains have now been set. Britons charging into Cougars territory. Down by 3. Thomas to his right. Pass is caught. And getting a block and an edge to the right side there was number 21, Colin Poor, the senior wide receiver from Tipton, Michigan. And we've hit the zeros across the clock. And that does it for our first quarter of play, as the Britons trying to muster some offensive momentum once again, as they'll switch sides of the field, and we'll get set for second quarter action shortly. We'll take a look at some stats here from that first quarter. Kyle Thomas going to be 4 of 9 with that pass that was completed to Colin Poor. 4 of 9. And in the backfield, it's almost 100 yards rushing from Doug Freeman. He had 9 carries and 83 yards, averaging just over 9 yards a run in that first quarter. And on the side for your Concordia-Chicago Cougars, Sepulveda 3 for 6 throwing it. Longest pass was only 7 yards. He was sacked 1 time back in the first quarter of play. And the 3 passes have gone to 3 different guys, as it was Caleb Casey with a catch along with Robert Dominguez and number 26 in Taylor Martins. So as we're about to begin second quarter action, it'll be the Britons going left to right offensively on your screen. They're in their old white uniforms with the rather gold helmets and pants. And for your Cougars, they're in their home maroon jerseys with the yellow pants, maroon helmets, and the yellow numbers. So second quarter now getting underway. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Ball at the 26-yard line of Concordia on the 2nd down and 1 play. Thomas is going to throw to his right. Pass is caught, and getting around the edge there was Marlon Martin. He reaches to the end zone, and they are going to rule that a Britons touchdown. So a 26-yard touchdown as he gives the Britons the lead at 9-6 with the extra point pending. So Marlon Martin tiptoeing down the near sideline and gave the visitors the 3-point lead. 4-point lead perhaps with the kick coming. Andrew Fabry on the kick. Andrew Fabry, excuse me, on the kick as this one is up. And Fabry kicks it down the middle and good. 10-6 our score as Albion College led down the field by the sophomore quarterback Kyle Thomas on the 26-yard passing catch there to Marlon Martin. So only 11 seconds into the second quarter, the Britons take the lead. As we mentioned, coming into action today, Kyle Thomas had a career game and a record-setting game in the 56-35 victory against Franklin College last week at home, as he racked up 542 yards of total offense, and he threw for 466 through the air. He ran for 76 more, as if he didn't do enough in that win last week. And for the Cougars, they're coming off of a 52-25 loss, and 19 of those 25 points that the Cougars had in that game came in the second quarter of action. As the kick downfield will be picked up by Andre Jones from about his own 10-yard line, and Jones gets to the next level past the 40 and gets taken down just short of the 45-yard line. So a nice run there from the freshman from Indianapolis, Indiana. And he gives the Cougars good starting field position here for their first second quarter offensive drive. As there was an offsides called on the kicking team as the kick had commenced. So tack on an extra 5 after the fact. As Sepulveda will trot back out there once again for the Cougars. So they'll spot the ball officially at the 49-yard line on the Concordia side, essentially at midfield. Two out to the right, two to the left to the near side. Ball on the left hash. Sepulveda is going to fake the handoff. He's going to air it downfield. And this one making the catch and taking it all the way for a Cougars touchdown is Eric Hoff. 51 yards to the house. What a throw from Jordan Sepulveda, the freshman. Freshman to freshman makes it 12-10 with 14:32 to play in the second quarter. Orlando Hayes to kick the extra point attempt, as that gives the Cougars the lead right back just like that. The snap, the hold, and the kick. It is up, and it is good. That puts the Cougars up by 3 at 13-10. So a couple of quick touchdown strikes from both sides here to start this second quarter of action. We've only played 28 seconds of this second quarter, and we've had 14 combined points. So Eric Hoff on his first catch of the day takes it to the house for 51 yards. The freshman from Pembroke Pines, Florida. As for Eric Hoff, he had only came into today's action with just 2 catches for 13 yards. So needless to say, that'll increase the stat sheet just a little bit for the freshman from Pembroke Pines, Florida. As Hayes now will come out to kick this one end to end. Marlon Martin and Isaiah Gibson back deep. So a 13-10 lead for the Cougars.
Kicking off for the Cougars will be number 16, Orlando Hayes.
Hayes, the junior kicker from Hialeah, Florida. Martin Gibson are back deep respectively for the Britons. As this kick will go to Martin from about his own 10. Martin will try to get the edge to the left side. Gets a nice run past the 35 to the 40. Spins around one tackler, and that's where he'll be stopped at about the 43-yard line. So a nice run there of about 33 yards from the junior Marlon Martin. And that's where the Britons offense, led by sophomore quarterback Kyle Thomas, will come out to the field at. Three out to the right with one to the left. Now a man in motion from right to left. That being number 21 and Colin Poore in the slot. As the handoff is going to Freeman, and he gets tackled right at the 50. So gain of 6 on the run to make it 2nd down and 4. So far, that's 89 rushing yards for Freeman in this half. As keeping this one on the option was the sophomore Kyle Thomas. Takes it into Cougars territory for a 1st down. Yeah, Kyle Thomas can throw, but he can also run the football. We mentioned he had 76 yards rushing in that 56-35 victory last week against Franklin College. And they quickly go here to Colin Poore on the far side. Tiptoeing to the sidelines as he steps out of bounds at about the 33-yard line. Clock stops with 13:38. 2nd down and about 4. Need to get to the Cougars 29 to convert. Trips to the right. As Thomas fakes the throw to the left, he's going to fake it again for a little pump fake action as he was looking downfield for Justin Thomas. As he airmailed that one to the sideline, incomplete. And that'll bring up 3rd down for the Britons. Third down and 4, 2 to the left and 2 to the right. Freeman in the left tip of Thomas. And they're going to give it to the trusty Freeman, who makes a move down the far sideline. And Doug Freeman inside the 10-yard line. And did he step out of bounds? No. They'll rule it a Britons touchdown. So a 33-yard touchdown run for the senior in Doug Freeman. And the Britons take the lead back once again at 16-13 with 13:18 to play here in the 1st half. For Bree to kick the extra point. Let's try to make this a 4-point ball game. The snap, the hold, and the kick. It is up, and it is no good. So we stay at a field goal apart, as it'll stand at 16-13. Led on that 33-yard touchdown run from the senior running back Doug Freeman, who now has 122 rushing yards on the day today. As if we take a look at the stats for Freeman coming into action today, through 2 games so far where they have both won them, Doug Freeman had 24 carries for 140 yards in 2 weeks combined, and he already almost has matched his season total through 1 half of play with 122. And through those 2 games, he had averaged just under 6 yards a run, and today he's averaging just over 11 yards per carry. So Fabry to kick this deep. As this one, it'll be Caleb Casey on the return. As this one gets taken out just short of the 30-yard line. Ball came out, but it was after the fact. So the Cougars will start this drive at the 30-yard line, trailing by 3. This has been a back-and-forth battle here in the 2nd quarter, with each team trading touchdowns respectively. As now looking like lining up under center is going to be the senior quarterback and Rob Granquist. So Granquist now the quarterback in for the Cougars. The senior from Powers, Michigan. 2 to the left and 2 to the right. Mentioned we were going to see a quarterback change throughout the afternoon as Maurice tries to rip through one defender but can't. As getting the stop there was Quentin Jackson. Quentin Jackson, the sophomore inside linebacker from East Lansing, Michigan. Loss of a couple on that run to make it 2nd and 12. Ball at the 28-yard line now. 3 receivers out to the left, 1 to the right. Play clock down to 15 and counting. Granquist with the throw. He thought about it, but he steps up in the pocket as the pressure was coming, and he gets taken down by a sea of white jerseys, as in there was Donovan Slates, a sophomore inside linebacker, to finally bring him down in the end. I think they gave Granquist a gain of a yard on that one to make it 3rd down and 11 to the 29-yard line. Mentioned Granquist had only 2 pass attempts so far through a couple weeks of action, and also getting action at quarterback has been Griffin Bodette, the sophomore. Granquist to his right. Pass is caught. Short of the 1st down, though, as making the catch there along the far side. As that was number 3, Eric Hoff. Hoff, we mentioned, had that 51-yard touchdown catch on the last offensive drive from when then quarterback, the freshman Jordan Sepulveda, was in. Punting unit back out. Brett Kruger to kick it away. Rayshawn Robinson back deep to return it as this punt is blocked. Punt is blocked. It's going to roll to the 10 and taking it inside the 5-yard line, recovering off of the block punt, is the freshman safety number 31 in Bailey Camego. And a big opportunity for the Britons offense to pad on their lead, as they're going to start this drive in 1st and goal territory from the Cougar 5-yard line. Let's go, D! Not the special teams play that the Cougars had drawn up there. As all eyes on this Cougars defense, maybe looking at number 28 in white, Doug Freeman, who's already had 122 yards today and a touchdown. 2 receivers out to the right, nobody to the left. Freeman at the right hip of Thomas. And right on cue, it's Freeman looking to lead behind a blocker, and he gains about a yard to make it 2nd and goal. A 16-13 lead for the visiting Albion College Britons over your Concordia Cougars here on this gorgeous Saturday afternoon here in River Forest. Same formation again. 2nd and goal. Thomas, he botched the handoff, it looked like, and immediately falling to the ground. As getting the touch on him was Gustavo Alba, the sophomore. So that could have almost turned disastrous for the Britons, as this will bring up a 3rd and goal from the 8-yard line. It was a loss of 6 on that muffed snap that Kyle Thomas fell on to recover. So a break there for the Cougars defense, as we now have 10 minutes to play in this 2nd quarter of action. Trips to the left, 1 to the right. Thomas looking to go to his right to the corner of the end zone. Pass is incomplete. He was looking there for Marlon Martin, as Demetrius Rufus, the junior D-back, in coverage. That brings up 4th down, and the kicking unit comes on out for the Britons, and Andrew Fabry will try to make this a 19-13 score. Rather short field goal attempt coming. He's already made 1 field goal today. The snap, the hold, and the kick. It is up, and that one is good. So Albion College on the road here to Concordia Stadium now goes up by a touchdown at 19-13 with 9:13 to play here in the second quarter. So far for Bree, he's 2 for 2 on field goal attempts. And so far today on defense for the Concordia Cougars, Rodolfo Payan, the senior linebacker, with 5 total tackles today, 3 solo, 2 tackle assists, and a bunch of players that have 2 so far today. And so far, the senior quarterback for the Cougars in Rob Granquist only completed 1 pass for 7 yards, as his one pass went to the freshman Eric Hoff. As this kick from Fabry will go to the right side, as that one's going to be taken by Casey once again. He tries to tiptoe down the far side past the 25-yard line. That's where he'll get taken out of bounds. As we'll see if, assuming Rob Granquist will come on out at quarterback once again for the Cougars. Sepulveda, who got the start today, 4 for 7, 66 yards, a touchdown. As long as play was 51 yards, that led to a touchdown from Eric Hoff, the freshman wide receiver, who took that one in for 6. So the ball spotted at the 27 on this drive for Concordia. 2 to the left, along with 1 out to the right. Moise in the backfield. And we get a whistle and we stop play for a moment. And a delay of game was called. So that'll back up the Cougars 5. So now make it 1st down and 15 from the 23-yard line. As Granquist is going to fake the handoff, he's going to throw to his right. The pass is caught. Gets past the original line of scrimmage mark at the 26. As the catch there was made along the far side by
from Granquist to number 81, Kenneth Wood.
That was Kenneth Woods, on the catch, his first of the afternoon. 2 out to the left and right. Makes it 2nd down and 6 on the 32-yard line, as this one will go to Moise on the far side, and he breaks through some tacklers and gets out for a 1st down and some more. And it'll be 1st down for the Cougars, as Lance Moise, the junior running back, trying to kind of match the production that Doug Freeman has had for the Britons here so far in this first half of action. 1st down and 10 with the ball at the 43-yard line on the Cougar side. Moise will get it on the carry to the left. Past the 45, he gets taken down. Levi Ladd, the sophomore linebacker, on the tackle. Was a gain of 3 on that run from Moise on that 1st down play. Ball at the 46. Granquist will drop back, throw down the near side, and the pass is incomplete. He was looking for the junior Corey Dooley. And that'll bring up 3rd down, as in coverage there was Rayshawn Robinson for the Britons. And we get a whistle. And we'll see what we have here. They're
Please reset the game clock to 7 minutes and 26 seconds.
Looks like it was an issue with the clock. So it looks like they want to put it to 7:26. They're going to add 8 seconds back. And it looks like we're all good to go now. 3rd down and 7 from the 46. Britons lead by 6. 19-13. 2 out to the left, 2 to the right. And Granquist coming in at quarterback here in the second quarter, replacing the freshman Sepulveda. Granquist over the middle, pass is caught, bouncing off one defender and getting a lot more and deeper into Britons territory was Robert Dominguez, the sophomore wide receiver, for a big gain on that first down for the Cougars.
That's complete. Granquist to Dominguez, first down, Cougar.
And Dominguez will come out after that first down catch that he made, as they'll now spot the ball at the Albion 22-yard line. As the Cougars trying to answer back with a touchdown and tie the game here in this first half. Moise on the carry, gets ahead of the 20 and gets taken down at the 19. Donovan Slate's there, the sophomore, on the tackle. Two out to the right, 2 to the left again. Ball in the near left hash. Granquist look back to the sidelines for another play. 10 seconds now on the play clock. And they already had delay game called on them earlier when they started this drive. As Moise is going to stay on his feet, and he is going to take it in for a Cougars touchdown. 19 yards. The junior running back makes it a 19-19 score with 6:08 to play here in the first half. Orlando Hayes, the junior, comes out now for the point after attempt. Griffin Bodette to be the holder. As he tries to give the Cougars the lead back on this extra point. Not the greatest of snaps, but Bodette will settle it down, and Hayes kicks it through, and the Cougars are back in the lead at 20-19 here in the second quarter. A 19-yard touchdown run from Lance Moise, the junior from Coral Springs, Florida. And the extra point there from Hayes gives the lead back to Concordia. As it's been quite the back and forth affair here in this second quarter, as the offense has picked up on both sides of the ball for each team respectively. As taking a look at the rushing stats here for Moise, he's got 14 carries, 95 yards, and a touchdown run. His longest been a 22-yard run from earlier back in the second quarter. Averaging just under 7 yards a carry, so it's kind of been the Moise versus Freeman battle here today in terms of who can run the ball the best on either side.
Martin and Gibson are deep to receive this kickoff.
Marlon Martin and Isaiah Gibson deep for the Britons to return this. Hayes to boot it away from his own 35. Here is the kick from Hayes, and Martin will get this from about his own 8-yard line. Marlon Martin, the junior, dodges one, gets to the far sideline, and he's got the kicker to beat, but he steps out of bounds right near midfield. A nice run there from the junior Marlon Martin as they officially mark him out of bounds at the 44-yard line on the Albion side of the field. So they mark him officially at the 44. 2 receivers out to the right and left, as Freeman will get the carry, and he gets past midfield and into Cougars territory. It'll go for second down as Freeman gets stopped at the Concordia 49-yard line. Gain of about 7 on that run. So We approach 5.5 minutes to play in this first half. Once again, Freeman on the carry, and Doug Freeman gets taken down just short of the 45-yard line. As on that tackle there for the Cougars was Dwight Daniel, the freshman 5'10", 307-pound defensive lineman from Friendswood, Texas. And they actually gave him the first down on that one, so he must have just made it with forward progress as Freeman on the carry yet again, as he's taken down just short of the 40 at the 41. Quite the workload for the senior running back today in Doug Freeman, as he's already matched his season total in rushing yards in this first half alone. That was his 15th carry of the ball game so far, as he now gets a break, and darting up the middle is Zach Surzo, and he gets into red zone territory, as that's where he got tripped up. They mark him at the 21-yard line, but a first down for Albion College. And we got whistles and I believe a timeout was called on the field, as the Cougars call their first timeout of the half. They'll have 2 remaining, as the Britons still have all 3 of theirs. So for Doug Freeman today, 15 carries, 139 yards. And we mentioned this a little earlier in the broadcast, how so far through 2 wins that they've had this season, they're 2-0, that Doug Freeman has had 24 carries for 140 yards on the season, along to go with 3 rushing touchdowns. And in this first half alone, he's had 15 carries for 139 yards and averaging just over 9 yards per carry. And not to be outdone on the running side of the ball for the Cougars, it's been the junior Lance Moise with 14 carries and 95 yards and a touchdown. So it's the battle of the running backs here in this first half. As we come back in off of the Cougars timeout, first down and 10, ball at the far hash, ball at the Cougars. Receivers to the left, 1 to the right, as Zach Surzo on the carry, as he gave him a gain of about 5 on that one to bring up second down. Thomas on the handoff to Surzo again. He got tripped up as he was trying to get through his initial blocks that were in front of him. As he still gained a couple of yards on that one to bring up third down and manageable for Albion College. And if you're just joining us, 2 running touchdowns and 1 passing touchdown for the Cougars. Third down and 3 as Thomas throws to his left, and that one behind the intended wide receiver for the Britons, as that was number 15, Colby Canfield, the intended wide receiver that was kind of at his back shoulder. This makes it 4th down. Kicking unit on out. Andrew Fabry out to kick for 3 and try to give Albion College the lead once again back, as they've traded the lead back and forth. Kick is up, and it is right down the middle and good. As now it's Albion College, the visitors, up by 2 at 22-20 with 3:57 to play here in the first half. As that is the second field goal made today from Fabry. And again, it was only a 6-3 score in favor of the Cougars way back at the end of the first quarter of action. And the offense has really been putting it on here for both teams in this second quarter of action. I want to thank everybody for joining us here on the Concordia Cougars Network on a gorgeous Saturday afternoon here at Concordia Stadium. I want to thank our guys behind the scenes doing excellent work to make the broadcast look as great as possible. Joel Krenz, Neil O'Donnell, Matthew Kreika, and Zach Adamick. I also want to give a shout out as well to CJ Selner for having me come out here today, call some Cougar football. As for Bree on this kick, as this one will be taken by Andre Jones from about his own 6-yard line, as Jones gets taken down just past the 20, and that's all he gets. As on the tackle there was Jacob Clark, the sophomore from Livonia, Michigan. As there's 3:50 to play here in this second quarter, the Britons will get the ball to start the second half. As now it looks like the freshman quarterback Jordan Sepulveda has now come back onto the field, so the freshman now back out there. He got some relief in the second quarter from senior quarterback Rob Granquist. As Sepulveda coming back in action, 4 for 7 today with 66 yards and a touchdown. And Sepulveda will hand this one off to Moise, who pushes his way past the 25-yard line for a nice gain to make it second down. Moise with the carry there for 4. I think that puts him at 99 yards here through this first half of play. Sepulveda hands that one out to Moise once again, and he gets down the far side for a first down and more. He hurdles a defender, and he gets taken down at midfield as the junior from Coral Springs, Florida, showing off the hops here at Concordia Stadium. They spot the ball at the 50, but what a hurdling play there. You can put that on the highlight tape, Lance. First down and 10 at the 50, under 3 minutes to play. 2 out to the left and right, respectively. Sepulveda with the throw to the right side. Pass is caught. And that was Dinas Pinellas, the freshman wide receiver, on the catch, as that was a gain of about 4 to bring up second down. 2:40 and counting remain here in the second quarter of action. Same formation once again for the Cougars, with the ball at the Britons' 46. Sepulveda keeps. He's going to throw to his left. Pass is caught for Dominguez, and he gets taken down just short of the 40. As that is going to be just short of a first down. It's going to bring up third down and about a yard to go. Ball in the near left hash as Moise at the left hip of Sepulveda. 15 seconds on the play clock. 1:50 and counting now to play here in the second quarter. As Moise is going to get the handoff, he's going to take it up the middle, and he has enough clearly for the first down and gets past the 30-yard line. As Moise now with over 120 rushing yards in this first half alone. 2 timeouts left for the Cougars, down by 2. And would like to get a score before they go to the half, as they have to give the ball to the Britons to kick off to start the third quarter. Three out to the left, 1 to the right. Sepulveda will throw to his right. Pass is caught, and getting around one tackler. Ball comes out, but it goes out of bounds, as that was Pinellas who got it poked out from behind. As that avoids disaster for the Cougars. Clock will continue to run. We have 70 seconds now remaining in the half. As that one could have been very costly, as coming off frustrated on the sidelines is Pinellas, as he is not pleased with himself on that one. 2 out to the right and left as Sepulveda steps up, throws over the middle, passes over the outstretched arm there of Robert Dominguez, and it'll bring up second down. Dominguez full extension diving as he came in off the route from the right side. As Dominguez today has 3 catches for 44 yards. His longest play today was a 32-yard reception. Clock stops with 48 seconds. Sepulveda is going to keep it himself off the fake handoff, and he goes nowhere with it. As leading the way to bring him down was number 45 in Chad Knopf, the freshman inside linebacker. It was a gain of nothing on that play, and we get a whistle and a timeout on the field.
Timeout, Concordia, the second timeout.
So the Cougars call a timeout of their own, their second of the half. They'll have one more remaining in these final 43 seconds of first half action. As again, we mentioned in the second quarter, the senior quarterback Rob Granquist came in, and we mentioned we would see perhaps a rotating trio rather of quarterbacks. We saw Sepulveda get the start, and then in the second quarter, Rob Granquist took the helm. And then a couple drives ago, it was Jordan Sepulveda who came back out to the field. But also getting time in that quarterback through the first couple of weeks was the sophomore number 2 Griffin Bodette.
Time will be treated to a performance by our CU Dazzlers. We also wanted to finish that one announcement from before. $1 snow cones under the maroon and gold tent. You can also purchase
as the
Cougar sunglasses.
Coaching staff led by, in his first season, Mike Jusick, along with the offensive coordinator and Jim Kernian, the offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach. Trying to whip something up here on third down and long from the Britons 17-yard line. Trips left, one to the right. Sepulveda steps up, goes to his left, and he chucks this one forward as this one will be caught by Dominguez. And it'll be first and goal for the Cougars, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to set the chains. It'll continue once it's set.
Third and final timeout of the half.
But it actually won't start because Concordia called their final timeout of the half. So it'll be first and goal, as the Cougars have used their final timeout. Taking a look at some first half stats overall here for the Cougars. Sepulveda 7 of 11 passing with 86 yards total with a touchdown pass. Leading the way receiving has been number 3 in Eric Hoff. He's got 2 catches for 58 yards and a touchdown. Dominguez has the most catches with 4 and has 55 yards. Pinellas with 3 catches and 21 yards. And in terms of rushing, it's been the Lance Moise show. 17 carries, 136 yards, and a touchdown.
Resume play. The Cougars will have a first and goal to go at the 6-yard line.
Ball's at the 6 on this first and goal. 35 seconds to get something done here, down by 2 in this first half. To the left and right, Sepulveda. He is not going to find anybody as he is going to be sacked in the backfield. Ball's a fumble, or it's going to be, going to say he was down. As on the sack there was Sean Cubit Miller, number 94, the senior defensive tackle, 6'2", 285, brings down the freshman quarterback. No timeouts here for the Cougars, so they got to hurry back. As we get to the final 10 seconds, the field goal unit comes on out quickly. Hayes will take a deep breath as they try to get some points and take the lead for the first half. It's going to be a short kick, and it is just short, no good. And that is how the first half of play comes to an end. So a short kick attempt there on the field goal from the junior Orlando Hayes. And we go to the half with the visiting Britons up by 2 at 22-20. Again, it's been the running back show here from the junior and Lance Moise and the senior running back and Doug Freeman for the Britons. We'll take our halftime break now. We'll come back in a little bit. We'll get you recapped on all the things that happened in the first half, and then we'll get you set for second half action between the Britons and your Concordia Cougars. Be back in a bit here on the Concordia Cougars Network.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, for your halftime entertainment, please welcome our CU Dazzler. And fans, we just want to remind you again that concessions and restroom are located across the field. If you're headed over that way, please exit the gate to the far right and walk along the outside of the fence past the buses and scoreboard. Please do not cut across the track and field.
Like that is gold. It's a gold mine for me. Those are working good for you. Okay. Yeah, it keeps like I mean it's been running.
about to get set here for second half action here at Concordia Stadium as your Cougars here against the Albion College Britons. They trail the Britons by the score of 22-0 as we're about to begin third quarter action here on the Concordia Cougars Network. I'm Ryan Fay with you here on today's call. Taking a look at some of the first half stats, we'll start with the visiting Britons of Albion College. Kyle Thomas, at quarterback, the sophomore, 6 of 14, 68 yards with a touchdown pass and an interception throw. We'll get to the running game in just a minute, but in terms of the receivers for the Britons, Colby Canfield, 1 catch for 15 yards. Colin Poore, 2 catches for 15 yards. Marlon Martin has a catch for 26 yards. That led to a touchdown for the Britons back in the second quarter. And then the tight end, Brian Blanzy, has 2 catches for 12 yards. And in the running game, it's been the Doug Freeman show. 15 carries, 139 yards on the ground to go along with a touchdown for himself here today. The senior running back getting it done big time on the ground for the Britons. And then the side for your Concordia Cougars, 2 quarterbacks used here in that first half. The senior Rob Granquist came in to replace the freshman Jordan Sepulveda. Granquist threw 3 of 4 for 49 yards, and Sepulveda 8 of 12 for 97 yards and a touchdown pass. Eric Hoff has 2 catches for 58 yards and a touchdown. Dinas Pinellas has 3 catches for 21 yards. Robert Dominguez 4 catches for 55 yards. And in terms of the running game, it's been the Lance Moise show. He's had 17 carries, 136 yards, and a touchdown run to his credit as well. On the side defensively, back to the Britons for it. It'll be 7 total tackles for Donovan Slates. That leads the way defensively. And on the side for the Cougars, 5 tackles for number 47, Rodolfo Payan. So those are your first half stats here as it's 22-20. The Britons have the 2-point lead. They're unbeaten so far in the young season at 2-0. And your Cougars at 1-1, and they'll begin NACC conference play next in 2 weeks when they head to Lakeland University on the 29th. And then in October they'll have 4 conference games. 3 of them will be at home. So the home cooking will be forthcoming for the Cougars in the month of October. So as we wind down the final minute of warm-ups, it'll be the Britons to get the ball here to start the second half of play. The Britons outscored the Cougars in that second quarter 19-14. So 35 total points put up from both teams after what was at the end of one quarter a 6-3 score. The second quarter became an offensive juggernaut for both sides. Again, you'll see the Cougars, if you're just joining us, in their home maroon uniforms with the yellow pants, maroon helmets, and yellow numbers. And for the Britons of Albion College are in the road white uniforms with the gold pants, gold helmets, and the blue numbers to correlate. It'll be the Britons going left to right offensively. Cougars will be going right to left here on your screen in this third quarter. Thanks for joining us once again. We also want to thank the great work of our guys behind the scenes, Joel Krenz, Neil O'Donnell, Matthew Kreika, and Zach Adamick. Orlando Hayes to kick this one end-to-end from his own 35. As Martin is back deep for the Britons, along with number 6, Isaiah Gibson. Britons lead by 2, though. Try to tack it on here with this opening drive. And the second half here at Concordia Stadium is now underway. And this kick to the near side, staying in bounds closely there was Isaiah Gibson. Gets past the 20, gets to the next level. Isaiah Gibson has the kicker to beat, and it's going to be the kicker that brings him down, along with some help there from Joshua Torrens, the senior linebacker, as that one could have been an opening second half kickoff to the house, as the Britons will start this opening possession of the second half in Cougars territory at the Concordia 45-yard line. So an excellent run there from the sophomore Isaiah Gibson. And that's how the second half starts for the visitors. Thomas out there, the sophomore who went for a school record 466 passing yards in the win last week against Franklin. Also set the team record in a game for total yards offense of 542 as he looks to his right and on the comeback route and making the catch. And getting taken down there was Colby Canfield, as that was a gain of about 6 yards on that play to make it Now 2nd and 4. Just underway here in this second half. Thanks for joining us again, as I mentioned, on a beautiful day here. Not a cloud in the sky to report at Concordia Stadium. Breeze coming in from the southeast direction. As this one on the handoff, it's going to go to Doug Freeman, who's got a big hole ahead of him. Gets around one defender, takes it inside the 10-yard line for Albion College. And Doug Freeman carrying what was a pretty impressive first half with a big run there on his first touch in this third quarter to make it 1st and goal for the Britons. They're going with the hurry up here. Ball at the 9-yard line. 3 out to the left, 1 to the right. As Thomas is going to keep it himself, and he's going to try to go and spin around. He's back to his own 20, and he manages to get past the original line of scrimmage and turn that into a positive gain. Looked like the Cougars had that one locked down for a big loss, but somehow the sophomore Kyle Thomas was able to spin his way through it, and after the play had ended, looked like we may have had an injured Cougar as Kelly Christian, the junior defensive back, went down. He appears to be favoring his right side. Can't foresee what the specific injury he's got, but we'll hope he'll be okay. So it'll be 2nd down and goal now for the Britons, as the ball is placed at the 6-yard line. 2 out to the left and right on the far hash, as taking this one and taking it in for a score. No, they're going to say they was just short at about the half-yard line, as that was Markel McCoy, number 23, on the run. Quick under the eye, and Thomas is going to keep it himself, and the sophomore Kyle Thomas puts it into the end zone for a touchdown.
Thomas on the quarterback seat for the touchdown to Albion.
So for the Brits now, they go up 28-20 with the extra point coming to definitely make it a 2-possession lead. For Bree now to go for the PAT off the 1-yard touchdown run from the sophomore Kyle Thomas. The kick is up, and it is through the uprights and good. So now stands at 29-20. As again, the big run there from Doug Freeman to get it into goal-to-go territory, as he has had quite the game so far through 2 quarters and some change. Get the official numbers on Freeman now as 17 carries for 175 yards and a touchdown, averaging just over 10 yards a run. As we mentioned, coming into today, through 2 games, he had 24 carries for 140 yards through 2 wins that the Brits have had to start their season. And he's already hit the over the season mark of rushing yards that he had today. And he's almost at just as many rushing attempts through 2 games here this afternoon. 3 on the rather shorter kick, as it'll be Andre Jones on the return. Andre Jones past the 30, and that's all he will get to, as forward progress will stop him at the Cougar 32-yard line. So we mentioned Rob Granquist came in at quarterback in the second quarter for the freshman and Jordan Sepulveda. Sepulveda going to come out here to start the first offensive drive of this second half for the Cougars. As so far for Sepulveda today, we look at the numbers. He's 8 of 12 with 97 yards passing. 3 receivers to his left, 1 to the right. Moise is in the backfield. As this one, the run up the right side is Moise, and he gets into the next level down the sidelines. And the junior from Florida gets inside the 20, and a big first down there on the opening first play of this drive for the Cougars. Takes them deep into Albion territory. Nicely done from the junior from Coral Springs, Florida. They spot him officially at the 15-yard line.
First and 10 Cougars from the Britons, 14.
Or excuse me, the 14-yard line, just ahead of that 15-line marker. Nevertheless, a great run from the junior. 3 receivers to the left as Moise kept it, gets off of one tackler, gets to the edge, and gets close to the 10-yard line for a gain of a couple yards on that play to bring up second down. Again, 29-20 our score, a third quarter touchdown run, 1 yard from sophomore quarterback Kyle Thomas. And then the extra point being made by Andrew Fabry made it the 9-point lead that we have here right now in this third quarter. Again, a light wind coming out of the southeast direction. I should say rather the northeast direction, excuse me. As Sepulveda steps up in the pocket and he's going to take it in himself. Gets into a battering ram of Britain defenders, but it is going to be enough to make it a first and goal coming up for the Cougars. What's coming on out now is Robert Berrigan.
First and goal for the Cougars at the 4.
Lining up at the running back spot now is Tyler Martins. And he is going to get the handoff, and he takes it into the end zone for a Cougars touchdown. So Moise gets a break. And the sophomore from Greenwood, Indiana, takes it 4 yards in.
That was 26. Tyler Martins on the handoff into the end zone for the touchdown, Cougars.
So that puts us at 29-26. Hayes out to go for the extra point to get the deficit down to 2. The snap, the hold, and the kick. It is a low kick, but it is good. And we now stand at a 29-27 ball game with 11:30 to play here in the third quarter.
Extra point is good. Now, Albion 29. Cougars,
so the
7.
Britons, who, when they got the ball last on a kickoff return from the sophomore Isaiah Gibson, took it into Cougars territory that led to that nice Freeman run, and then the eventual Kyle Thomas 1-yard touchdown run. So for special teams here on the side of the Cougars, you're going to want to make sure you at least make sure you pin it back in Britain's territory, so they'd have to fight for some more yardage down the field if they were to try to go down the defense. Hayes, the junior kicker from Hialeah, Florida. Martin and Gibson back deep for the Britons. And here is Hayes on the kick. Gibson will get it from just ahead of his own 10. It's Gibson again, kind of the same route he took on the first kickoff return, and he does a nice run yet again. Penalty flag comes in after he gets taken down just ahead of his own 40. And we'll see what they get the flag on. Maybe a block in the back, perhaps. We'll get the call in just a moment from our officials.
During return, holding, receiving, number 45, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Chase Kickoff, the freshman linebacker, gets called for the holding penalty on the return. So that'll back that nice return up from Isaiah Gibson a bit. First down and 10 at the 30. 3 receivers out to the right now. And the always dangerous Doug Freeman in the backfield as he takes it to the left side. Gets a gain of maybe a yard on that one, as that'll bring up second down. Can we mention the numbers on Freeman. Now 18 carries for 176 yards. 177 yards. I gave him a second yard on that one to make it 2nd and 8. So 18 carries, 177 yards. As Thomas on the option to keep it is immediately met in the backfield by a sea of maroon jerseys. As leading that pack there for the Cougars was number 95 in Abdul Halim Ajibola, the freshman defensive lineman from Lockport, Illinois. As that was a loss of about 5 to make this third, or about, they officially give it 7, so 3rd down and 15. Thomas over the middle. Pass is juggled and incomplete. They were looking for Brian Blanzy, the senior tight end. As he had that one there, he just took his eyes off the football by a split second too early, looking downfield. And a stop there by the Cougars defense will force the punting unit to come out for Albion College. Robert Bargan back deep for the Cougars, along there with Andre Jones. High kick, and it's going to be Jones to get the kick, and he gets a few yards of forward progress on the return, as he'll take it to his own 35-yard line, and that's where the Cougars will come out on offense. Once again, Jordan Sepulveda will lead his team out there, the freshman from Lake Worth, Florida. Sepulveda 8 of 12 for 97 yards. And he also has 6 carries for about 16 yards. So the ball on the left hash at the 35-yard line. Fakes the handoff. He's going to air it downfield, and the pass is incomplete. He was looking for the junior Corey Dooley. As that one, Dooley was about a step or two behind the throw. A little too much oomph on that throw from Sepulveda, the freshman quarterback. Sepulveda stands at 5 feet 11 inches tall, 185 pounds on the roster we have. Moise at his left hip. 2 receivers out to the right, 1 to the left. And Moise is going to take the handoff to the right side. Look to get the edge. He's going to get it. And he is taken down right at where the first down mark would be. And we'll see where they mark it. So right near the last chain there for that first down. But there is a penalty flag on the far side of the field, and that's going to be a penalty on Robert Dominguez for holding. So negate the run from Moise in the first place, as it will now bring up 2nd down and 20 for that 10-yard holding penalty. 10 minutes now to play in this third quarter. 29-27 our score. 3 receivers to the left, 1 out to the right. As Moise will get the carry, and he gets stopped just short of the 40-yard line. As it'll be a much more manageable 3rd down. We'll mark it as 3rd down and about 7 to go, as that was a gain of 13 on the run by the junior from Coral Springs, Florida. Moise is almost at net yardage of 200 yards on the ground today. 1 receiver in motion to the left. As Sepulveda drops back, he steps up, he runs out of room, ball comes out, and it's a strip sack and a fumble recovered by the Britons. Falling on top of it was Quentin Jackson, the outside linebacker, who got the hit. And he falls on top of the football. And that drive comes to a sad end for the Cougars, as the Britons now will take over in Cougar territory at the Concordia 32-yard line. So a bad break there from the freshman Sepulveda, who stepped up in the pocket and was looking downfield, but he didn't feel the pressure from his right side coming. As this makes it now 1st down for the Britons at the Concordia 32. Thomas is going to keep it. He's going to throw over the right side. Pass is caught. That's Colby Canfield again. First down, Britons. Change of set. Clock will continue to wind as we now have under 9 minutes to play in the third. Two receivers to the left. As Thomas is going to throw to the near corner of the end zone. Jump ball, and it is caught. Canfield again. Touchdown, Britons. It is now 35-27 with 8:46 to play in the third quarter. As Canfield makes the touchdown reception for 16 yards. Andrew Fabry will go now for the extra point to put his team back up 9. And they do. So it's now at 36-27. 8:46 to play here in this third quarter. As becoming a big target on that drive, leading to that touchdown, was Colby Canfield, the sophomore wide receiver from Stockbridge, Michigan. As we'll get the updated stats on Canfield in just a moment. As coming into that drive, he only had 2 carries for, or I should say 2 catches, I beg your pardon, for 21 yards. As Concordia looking to get back and respond. They have been able to do that on most occasions here so far this afternoon. But trailing by 2 possessions to a Britons team that when they get the ball and they can run on your defense, it's going to be a long day, as it's going to be on the carry Caleb Casey to the near side to the 30, and he's got a couple extra, about 1 or 2 blockers with him as he gets taken down just short of midfield, and we have an injured Cougar after the play had come to an end. Now Zachary Rager, the freshman linebacker.
During the return, holding. Return team, number 25.
And there was a penalty that goes against the Cougars for holding. So right now, Zachary Rager will go to the sidelines to get checked out after he took a bad tumble down to the turf. As looking out there now, it's Rob Granquist, the senior quarterback, under center. So the freshman Sepulveda will, I guess for now, get a breather. We'll see if he comes back in. He did back in the second quarter. So Granquist now to get some more reps in at quarterback. Granquist, a senior from Powers, Michigan. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. As Granquist on the carry to Moise to the right side. And that is going to be a tackle for a loss. As getting the initial touch was Kamari Hurd, the sophomore outside linebacker. And eventually bringing him down there, I think that was number 94 in Sean Cubitt Miller. So a loss of about 3 to make it 2nd down and 13. 2 receivers to each side. Moise at the left hip of Rob Granquist. And the southpaw throws over the middle and incomplete. He was looking for Eric Hoff. And that'll bring up 3rd down and long. Offense is coming to a little bit of a stall here for Concordia in this third quarter. Just under 8 minutes to play in this third quarter. Cougars trailing by 9. Thanks for joining us here on the Concordia Cougars Network on this gorgeous Saturday afternoon from Concordia Stadium. 2 receivers to the left and right as Granquist steps up in the pocket, and he was hit as he was about to throw it, and finishing the sack off for the Britons was number 94, Sean Cubitt Miller, at it again, facing the pressure. The senior defensive tackle makes it 4th down, and the punting unit comes out now for the Cougars. It'll be Brett Kruger to kick this one away. He'll be standing from just inside his own end zone to kick it. As this boot is a low one to the right side, and it takes a Britons bounce, and that one's going to be out at the Cougars' 30-yard line. So again, great starting field position here for the visiting Britons of Albion College. So a big opportunity here for the Brits to pad on to their lead. Already up by 9, with just over 7 minutes to play here in this third quarter of action. Doug Freeman in the backfield alongside Markel McCoy. And Freeman actually comes on out, and play clock was not an issue, but as the Britons call a timeout, looks like they didn't like the personnel switches they were making prior to getting set on the field. So that's their first time out of this half. They still have 2 remaining. Cougars still have all 3 of theirs. Again, the big story for the Britons offense today has been led by senior running back Doug Freeman. 18 carries for 178 yards and a touchdown. And Kyle Thomas, who threw for a single game record 466 yards for the Britons, is 9 of 18 for 106 yards. So quite the change from the victory they had last week at home against Franklin College. Now we get play back underway. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. McCoy in the backfield, and he's going to get the carry and run up the middle, spin around a few tacklers, and get a few more yards out of it to make it a gain of about 7-8 yards. And that'll bring up second down and short. Markel McCoy, the junior running back from Oak Park, Michigan. 2 receivers out to the right, 1 to the left. As they made that a gain of 7 by McCoy on that first down run. As Thomas scrambling to find some room. He's going to run it to his right side. He's got some blockers in front of him. Spins inside the 10-yard line. And a very nice play from Kyle Thomas. A penalty flag comes in from the back of the play that had ended. The ball spotted at the 9 right now. This one came in right as the play came into an end. We'll see what the officials call here. Officials still conferring about it. Now let's get the call.
Block in the back. Offense, number 88. 10-yard penalty. First down, Albion.
So Darius Case called for the block in the back, the sophomore tight end. Second tight end on the depth chart for the Britons here today. So negate the run there from the sophomore Kyle Thomas. So it'll be first down back at the Cougars' 19-yard line. And McCoy's going to get the handoff up the middle. And Markel McCoy falls forward to the Cougars' 12-yard line for a gain of about 8 yards on that one. No huddle here from the Britons. Second and short. Same formation once again. Thomas to the left side of the end zone, and it is caught. Flag comes in behind the play. They do rule it a touchdown. Marlon Martin on the catch in the end zone. So Martin with his second touchdown catch of the day, assuming it stands. The play came in back where Kyle Thomas took some contact after the play had been made. We'll get the word from the officials in a
Roughing the passer. Defense, number 42. The 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff. Touchdown. Try.
So Gustavo Alba, the sophomore defensive lineman from El Paso, Texas, gets called for roughing the passer. Makes it now a 42-27 lead for Albion College. Fabry out for the extra point. Sam Blanzy on the hold, and it is up, and it is good. So the Cougars now down by 16 off of the 12-yard touchdown from Kyle Thomas to Marlon Martin, as Martin now has 2 touchdown receptions today. The first one went for 26 yards, and that one there for 12. That extra point making it a 43-27 lead for the visiting Britons of Albion College. Now we mentioned the Northern Athletic Collegiate Conference for the Cougars. They have a week off next week before they begin conference play on the 29th when they head to Lakeland University for a 1 o'clock kickoff. And then they have 4 conference games in October with Aurora, Eureka, Concordia, Wisconsin, and Rockford University. All of those games are at home except for the one at Concordia, Wisconsin. So Casey and Jones are back deep. Fabry to kick this one end with his team up by 16 with under 6 minutes to play here in the third quarter. And this one will go out for a touchback. So the Cougars offense comes on out. And it looks like it'll be Granquist going out there, the senior, once again to lead the charge for the Cougars, as he and Sepulveda have split time. Cougars got some work to do, down by 16. Still plenty of time in this contest, and the way we've seen the running game especially develop here today, led the way by the junior and Lance Moise. They can get back in this rather quickly. Granquist in the shotgun. He is going to hand it off to the aforementioned Moise, who gets a gain of a couple yards to make it second down. Moise today has 204 net yards rushing here this afternoon on 22 carries. Make it 205 as they gave him a third yard on that run. So second down and 7. Same formation again. Moise will drive it up the middle, and he only gets a gain of a few there to make it third down. It was a gain of 2 on the run, makes it third down and 5 as we have 5 minutes to play in this third quarter.
3rd and 5 for the Cougars at the 30.
Ball at the 30, 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Moise at the right hip of Rob Granquist. A low snap. Granquist steps up to his left, and he's going to keep it himself. He sticks the forearm out against Kamari. Heard the linebacker. Doesn't go down, but gets taken out of bounds with his momentum running to the left side. And he's going to be a yard short of the first down on that QB keep. And the punting unit comes on out for Concordia. Rayshawn Robinson back deep. Brett Kruger to punt it once again for the Cougars. Bit of a high snap that Kruger boots. Has a nice kick down the near side. Robinson almost muffed it again. And he gets a gain of maybe 1 or 2 after that. But if you go back to the first quarter, he muffed a punt back in that first quarter that led to a touchdown run from Jordan Sepulveda. And he almost had the same fortune happen there, but That one he was able to scoop up and recover immediately. So now the Britons offense back out there to really pile it on here, up by 16, and really take full control of the game. As they had 56 points in their win against Franklin College last week. As Thomas throws over the middle, passes through the hands of Brian Blanzy, number 87. There are 3 defenders around the area for the Cougars, but no one were able to get a touch on the ball. As it's now 2nd down and 10. Just over 4 minutes to play. The handoff is going to go to McCoy. And McCoy skips around one defender, bounces off a second, gets through a third, and eventually gets taken down as Romario Coley eventually brings him down. And we get a penalty flag that flies in at the Concordia 44-yard line. And it looks like this one may be against Concordia.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 15, offense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the line. First down.
So an unsportsmanlike.
First unsportsmanlike conduct of the game.
So Colby Canfield with a big no-no there. The sophomore, and he actually checks on out after the play for being called for unsportsmanlike conduct. Tyler Sykes now, the senior, will check in his spot. So that is going to back up that run there that was well done by Markel McCoy, the junior. So that puts them back in their own territory. Still a new set of downs, though, for Albion College at their own 44. Two receivers out to the left, one to the right. As Thomas is going to keep it, he's going to air it downfield, and this one is over the intended receiver, and Tyler Sykes, who just checked in as we mentioned, goes out incomplete to bring up 2nd down. Freeman to the left, tip now of Thomas. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Thomas will keep it. Throw over the middle. Pass is caught. And that's a first down into Cougar territory by Brian Blanzy. So well executed there to Blanzy, who they targeted quite a bit back in the first quarter. Seem to be going back to that well to the senior tight end once again. As the fake handoff to Freeman, Thomas is going to air it downfield, and this one is wide open and dropping that one. And what should have been an easy touchdown for Marlon Martin, the junior, as he got a step beat there in the secondary on Adam Hernandez, the freshman. As there was a penalty flag thrown at the Concordia 34. See what the call is here.
Go D-line!
Ineligible receiver downfield. Offense. Number 79. 5-yard penalty. First down.
So for Albion College, the ineligible receiver downfield, that was Babacar Diop, the freshman that was called for the penalty. So that brings up a 1st and 15 now. 5-yard penalty for the ineligible receiver downfield. 2 backs in the backfield now. 2 receivers to the left as Thomas looks quickly to the right. Finds Martin. Pass is caught. And that one past the 35 goes Marlon Martin, who dropped what should have been a touchdown for the Britons a few plays ago. There was a gain there of about 13 to make it 2nd down and 2. And now it'll be on the carry there. It's Doug Freeman for a first down to the Cougars 27. So a gain of 6 on the run to make it a first down.
Come on, D!
Under 3 minutes now to play in this third quarter. 43-27 our score in favor of the visitors in Albion College. And it'll be Freeman getting the carry once again. He goes right up the middle with it, and he tries to power his way through one defender, gets taken down inside the 10, and it'll be first and goal for the Britons with 2:42 to play in the third, and a flag comes out after the play ends. And this one may be unsportsmanlike on the Cougars. As it looked like there were some words being exchanged after the play had concluded.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense, number 5. After this is a goal, first down. That is number 5's first.
That is Caleb Casey on the unsportsmanlike penalty. So first and goal at the 5. McCoy in at running back. He's going to take the handoff, and he's going to take it in for an Albion College touchdown. And another flag comes out as some more pleasantries are being exchanged. Looks like that one may be going against Concordia yet again. We'll get the word in a minute, though, as McCoy basically trotted in for that 4-yard touchdown. And we'll listen in once again for the ruling of the flag.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense, number 6. That penalty assessed on the kickoff. That is number 6, first unsportsmanlike penalty of the game. Zone plays touchdown, try.
So Joshua Torrance called for it, the senior linebacker. So the touchdown stands. It's now 49-27 with 2:34 to play in the third. Extra point coming up right now as Febreze kicks it through the uprights and good. And they're at the half-century mark, up now by 23 at 50-27. So now in terms for Concordia, you really want to be a little more disciplined. As now you've had multiple unsportsmanlike penalties against you defensively, trying to keep your composure here to try to spark any rally that you can. So it'll be Fabredo kicking now from his own 50 because of the unsportsmanlike penalty. That was 15 yards assessed now on the kickoff. It'll be Casey and Jones back deep. Fabredo kicked this, as we mentioned, from his own 50.
We gotta go all the way across. So maybe next time.
As we get official word from the Sentinels, we can get the kickoff going. Ball on the far hash.
Popcorn, $1 burgers, too.
And Fabredo will kick this one into the end zone for a touchback. So with the Cougars down by 23, and we're playing the mystery again of who comes in as quarterback, and it looks like it'll be Jordan Sepulveda who is going to go back out there, the freshman who started the game, as Rob Granquist has the headset on. So yeah, it will be Sepulveda who goes back out there for the Cougars. So first down and 10 on the Concordia 25, trips to the left, one to the right. Sepulveda steps back, and the pass is over the arms for Dominguez, incomplete. And that brings up second down, and Cougars cannot get anything offensively here in this third quarter going. Ever since the run from Taylor Martins, there really hasn't been much going here for this offense, with maybe the exception of Moise, who continues to run the ball in an impressive manner, over 200 yards today. And that is going to be enough for a Cougar first down, and we have an injured Britons player down on the field. As it looked like that is Rayshawn Robinson, whose helmet came off after the play had ended.
Okay. We got a savior. We got one more.
So it looks like they'll have an injury timeout on the field. It'll be first down for Concordia at their own 36-yard line, as they'll check on the cornerback, the senior from Jackson, Michigan, and Rayshawn Robinson. He did take a jarring hit. His helmet did come off as he took contact to the turf. And Robinson does get up under his own power. And he is able to walk on his own too, which is a good thing to see. Now we'll get things back set after the injury timeout. Clock stops at 2:21 to play in the third. Two receivers left, two to the right. Moise at the right hip of Sepulveda, who drops back. He's going to throw to his left. Pass is caught. Ball's alive and out, but it goes out of bounds as Dominguez falls on top of it out of bounds. They'll keep possession. The net gain of 1 yard on the completion to make it a second down and 9. Two receivers to each side. Moise at the left hip of Sepulveda. Blitz comes in, and he gets rid of it, and the pass is caught. Dominguez holds on to it this time, spins forward just short of the 45. And it'll bring up a third down and manageable for the Cougars as they get closer to midfield. Same formation once again. Moise at the right hip. 20 seconds and counting on the play clock. Ball at the 43. As Moise is going to get the run on third down, and he's going to get more, and he's going to break down the far sideline. And it's Lance Moise who gets tripped up just short of taking it in for a touchdown. And perhaps that's the spark the Cougars need to get back into this down by 23. We'll spot the ball at the 7-yard line. That was a gain of 50 yards on the run from Lance Moise. A junior from Coral Springs, Florida. 268 net rushing yards today. Three receivers to the left, and he's going to try to get some more yards. He gets about maybe a yard more on the play. And it'll bring up second down and goal with 45 seconds now remaining and counting in this third quarter. 4 touchdowns from the Britons here in this third quarter to really open things up in this second half.
We got more Doritos, Cheetos, just regular ones, not the hot ones.
Second and goal from the 7.
Starburst,
So second and goal at the 7.
one popcorn left.
As getting the handoff there, and the ball came out. Taylor Martins was the one that was on the carry. He lost control of the football, and the Britons fall on top of it and recover the fumble. So the big 50-yard run there from Lance Moise doesn't pay dividends, and the Cougars defense has to come back out there once again. Concordia just not getting the breaks that they would prefer here in this third quarter. Britons will start this drive from their own 10-yard line. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. As McCoy gets the handoff, he's going to run up the middle for a first down and some more. Gets taken down just short of the 25. Clock stops with just seconds remaining here in the third. As Thomas will hand this one off to McCoy yet again, and it's back-to-back first down runs as the third quarter comes to an end. But nice back-to-back runs from Markel McCoy, the 6-foot junior running back, as we go to the fourth quarter, as it was 28 points put up in that third quarter by the Britons compared to only 7 for the Cougars. And that's how we stand at our 50-27 score going into fourth quarter action. As for the better part of those 2.5 quarters, Doug Freeman, 20 carries, 203 yards. And now McCoy with 6 carries, 78 yards. And on the side for Cougars, we mentioned Moise, 26 carries, 268 net total yards, and a touchdown. Sepulveda, the quarterback, who's got most of the snaps under center, 10 of 16 for 104 yards, while Granquist, the senior who's come in a few spots today, 3 for 5, 49 yards. So now we'll be going the other way. Right to left will be the Britons offense on your screen. Left to right will be the Cougars. First down and 10 as Thomas throws to his left. Pass is incomplete. It was a forward pass as they were looking there for Zach Serzo, the other senior running back on the depth chart for the Britons of Albion College. So second and 10. As for Albion in the Mid-America Athletics Conference, they'll be getting in the conference play after this week as this pass over the middle is caught. Colby Canfield, who got a 16-yard touchdown catch back in the third quarter. They'll be taking on Alma in 2 weeks over at their territory for a 2 o'clock kickoff on the 29th, as that's when they begin conference play. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, as they're now in Cougar territory. Ball at the Concordia 35. This offense doesn't appear to be stopping on any cylinders. This one downfield for Martin, but that one goes out of bounds, incomplete. And on the sidelines here for the Cougars, looks like Griffin Bodette and Granquist appear to be warming up with one another. Both quarterbacks have gotten time. We've seen Granquist today. We've seen Bodette just be the holder on kicks. But he has also played some time at quarterback over the last couple of weeks, too. You have to wonder if the other sophomore is getting ready. Thomas to McCoy on the run. And he bounces to the right side and manages a decent gain off that one. And what looked like could have been a loss of yardage. Brings up third down and 7. Same formation again for the Britons. Man in motion on the left side. Blitz comes in, and this pass is caught to the left side, and it is going to be just short of the first down, it looks like, as the pass there was caught by Darius Case, the sophomore tight end. It's going to be 4th and short. Offense going for it here. And the handoff is going to be actually kept by Thomas, who gets tripped forward for a first down and some more yards after the fact as they get inside the Cougar 20-yard line. As they spot the ball at the 19-yard line. This has been the Britons' second half to control here at Concordia Stadium. And at the running back spot now is Zach Surzo, number 22. Fake handoff, throw to the near corner, and a flag comes in as almost with a tackle there was Demetrius Rufus, the junior from North Lauderdale, Florida. So you have to imagine that'll be called against the Cougars.
Pass interference. Defense, number 1. Volley placed in spot of the penalty. Automatic, first down.
So a spot foul, a first down for the Britons of Albion College, as it'll make it a 1st and goal at the Cougars' 10-yard line. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. And Thomas is going to keep it on the fake handoff. Jump ball in the end zone. Pass falls incomplete. Mario Coley was in coverage as the pass was there intended for Brian Blanzy on the side of Albion. So 2nd down and goal. Clock stopped at 13:18.
Second and goal from the 10.
Same formation once again. Zach Surzo still out there, the running back, to the right hip of Thomas. And Thomas is going to keep it, and he tosses in front to the right, and the sophomore tight end, and Darius Case takes it in for yet another Britons touchdown. Touchdowns are coming alive here in this second half for the visiting Albion College Britons, as they now look to go up by 30 with this extra point, as we stand right now at 56-27. As that kick is up and good.
Good. The touchdown coming on a shuttle pass to number 88, Darius Case.
So it's 57-27, just over 13 minutes to play here in the 4th quarter. Again, thanks for joining us here on the Concordia Cougars Network. I'm Ryan Fay with you here on the broadcast. Again, I want to thank the guys behind the scenes for their great job for our broadcast today. And Joel Krenz, Neil O'Donnell, Matthew Kreka, and Zach Adamick. No fans have left early. Everybody's staying in their seats here on this gorgeous weather day here at Concordia Stadium. Not a cloud in the sky, with a little wind out of the northeast direction. Regardless of the scores mentioned, I'll say it again, it's a picture-perfect day for football to be out in the stands. Very low humidity. And as for Breeze now will kick this one end-to-end from his own 35. As Casey will take it from just ahead of his own 10. As he'll be met just short of the 30-yard line. As that's where the Cougars offense will take over at. And we saw on the previous drive, Griffin Baudet, the sophomore quarterback, warming up, and he is going to go out there and get the reps under center at QB. So Baudet, the sophomore from St. Joseph, Michigan, is going to get his first snaps in at quarterback today, as Granquist and Sepulveda had all the snaps prior to this one. 2 receivers to the left to right, more bunched towards the line, as Baudet gets it to the right, but the pass falls incomplete, as they were looking there for the intended receiver in Kenneth Woods, number 81, the freshman from Elk Grove, California. I should say he did catch it. I do apologize. Looked like at first one official did signal incomplete. It was a gain of 6, as the run here now is Tyler Martin's, and that should be enough for the first down based on forward progress, I believe. And that is what it'll be. So a first down for the Cougars offense. Clock will continue to wind after the chains are set. Two receivers to the right, two to the left. Ball at the 40-yard line. Bodette drops back, steps up, throws over the middle in tight coverage. Intended receiver Eric Hoff can't make the play on it. Falls incomplete for second down.
Bodette's pass incomplete, intended for Hoff. It will be second down from the 40.
So second down and 10. As Bodette throws to his left, pass is caught as he finds Hoff this time. And he has a gain of about 4 on that one to make it third down and 6. Under 12 minutes now to play in regulation. Cougars trailing by 30, 57-27. So the Britons have outscored themselves from last week, where they had 56 against Franklin, who put up 35 points. So in the 3 games they've played this season, they've put up at least 50 points on their side of the column. Third down and 5. Bodette throws over the middle, passes incomplete, flags come in, and that's going to be pass interference on Albion College. So a penalty that goes in favor of the Britons this time.
Defense, number 2. 10-yard penalty for the previous spot. Automatic first down.
And that's Elverson Mitchell, the junior linebacker. Gives the Cougars now a new set of downs. They'll spot the ball at the Britons' 45-yard line. Same formation. Bodette will give this one to Jones, who's now in at running back. Andre Jones has a carry of about 5. It'll be second down now for the Cougars. And if you're just joining us, 28 points in that third quarter put up by the Britons compared to the Cougars' 7. As that's when the Britons really took full control of this game, was throughout the whole stages of that third quarter. 3 receivers to the right as the run now goes to Jones, and Jones along the left side gets a first down and more. Penalty flag back at the 30-yard line. And we'll see what the flag is first. So we'll get the call in a moment from our head official.
Personal foul. Face mask. Number 25, the defense. After this goal, automatic first down.
So that's the sophomore Jacob Clark from Livonia, Michigan. So Tech got another 15 after the fact, and it's penalties now that have driven the Cougars downfield. So first down and 10 at the 13-yard line. 2 receivers to the left and right. Britons show blitz. Bodette rolls to his right, and he is going to try to pass it on the shuttle forward as he was looking there for Hoff. Because that one, he'll tell you, he got it caught on the run, but that one drops out of bounds to make it second down. So with just 10.5 to play in the fourth, Cougars trying to get their first score of the quarter here.
Second down for the Cougars.
Second and 10. 1 receiver to the left, 2 to the right. And it'll be Jones on the carry. And Jones gets a couple of yards on the run. And that'll make it third down.
Well, it's probably good they don't, because I don't know
Again, it's been penalties that have moved the Cougars down on this drive here. Pass interference and face mask got the Cougars deep into Britons territory. Third down, and before progress actually put him back at the original line of scrimmage, actually. Third down and 10 at the 13. Pressure being shown on the blitz. Throw to the right side for Hoff, and it is caught for the touchdown. It was juggled in the air by Drew Schaefer, the sophomore safety for the Britons, and it landed right in the wheelhouse of Eric Hoff for his second touchdown of the day. But a great touchdown there from the Cougars, as they now get 6 more on the board and trail at 57-33. Hayes now out for the extra point. There's something to give the crowd something to cheer about. Here is the snap, the hold, and the kick. It is up, and it is good. Now we stand at 57-34. Off the 13-yard touchdown from Griffin Bodette to Eric Hoff. And a lot of young players on this Cougars team. A sophomore quarterback in Bodette, a freshman quarterback in Sepulveda. And I mentioned the senior Rob Granquist, who got some time in under center as quarterback. But Eric Hoff is a freshman. Lance Moise is a junior. Tyler Martins, who had a touchdown run back in the third quarter, is only a sophomore. Corey Dooley is a junior, so a lot of these guys are going to be returning letterman next year on the offensive side of the ball for Concordia. So Hayes will kick this one off on the far hash from his own 35. And they go for the short squib kick attempt, and penalty flags come in after the fact. I think the Britons fell on top of it either way, and they did. But a flag comes in just where the kickoff had meant to be at the 35. This may be offsides on the Cougars. We'll see.
During the kick, offsides, kicking team, number 10, 5-yard penalty to be assessed at the return, first down Albion.
That was Randy Nava, the senior from Munster, Indiana. Called for being offsides. So first down and 10 now for the Britons as they start this in Cougar territory inside the 45 at the 42. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. And a new quarterback is in as his first throw down the field is a jump ball, and pass interference is going to be called on the Cougars. Sam Blanzy, the senior, now in at quarterback. As it looks like this one is going to go for interference on the Cougars.
Pass interference, defense, number 8, 15-yard penalty, from previous spot, automatic first down.
It was Adam Hernandez, the freshman from Houston, Texas, in coverage that got called for it. Not a spot foul, but another first down for the Britons. So we have just a little over 9 minutes to play here in regulation. Two receivers out to the left, 1 to the right. And on the run here, it's Zach Serzo, who stumbles forward for a gain of about 7-8 yards to make it second down and short. And mark that as a gain of 7. 2 receivers to the right. As this run up the middle of Serzo is enough for the first down and much more, as this puts him just outside the Cougars' 10-yard line. Two receivers to the right, one to the left. Sam Blanzy will throw to the near corner, and nobody there. As there was a miscommunication there between him and Kobe Canfield, number 15. As they were looking perhaps for the fade route to the end zone, but Canfield kind of stopped on a dime there and thought it was going to be a comeback towards the original line of scrimmage on the throw, but it wasn't. So it'll be second down and 10 from the 12. Same formation once again. About 8 men in the box here for the Cougars defensively. Throw to the left side. He's looking for Canfield again, as that one falls incomplete. And that brings up third down. $59 points in the win against Defiance back on the first. 56 in their home win against Franklin. And now they have 57 here against Concordia. Quite the offensive juggernaut through the first 3 weeks have been the Britons of Albion College. Third down and 10. Two receivers to the right, one to the left. As Blanzy to his left, pass is caught. It's going to be short of the end zone, though. Darius Case on the catch. And we get a penalty flag back at the 18-yard line.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 74 of the offense. After this is goal, a 15-yard penalty, third down. That is the first unsportsmanlike conduct for number 74.
So that was Jordan Jones, the sophomore left tackle. Jordan Jones, the 6'2", 256-pound left tackle from Warren, Michigan. With his brother Jared, that's first on the depth chart. Jared has an inch of height on him, but Jordan Jones has 4 more pounds on him according to the roster. So now makes it fourth down. Clock will continue to wind. Offense stays out there for the Britons. They need to get to the 3 to convert. Two receivers to the right, one to the left. Surzo in the backfield to the left hip of Sam Blanzy, who throws to his right. Pass is caught. Not going to be enough for the first down at the moment, but after breaking one tackle and getting to the near sideline and almost making a miracle happen there was Justin Thomas. But that's going to be a turnover on downs for the Britons, but a great effort, though, nevertheless, from the freshman wide receiver from Wixom, Michigan. So the Cougars, down by 23, get the ball back with just over 7.5 to play here in the game. I want to thank everybody for joining us here on the Concordia Cougars Network for this great Saturday afternoon here at Concordia Stadium. Ryan Fahey with you here on the call today. Three receivers to the left, one to the right. As Bodette stays in at quarterback, the run to the right side for Jones has minimal gain on it to bring up second down. I should say, let me correct myself there on the run. That was number 26 and Tyler Martins, I should say. So Tyler Martins with no gain on the run to bring it to second and 10. Two receivers to the right, two to the left. Martin stays in at the running back spot. Bodette steps up. He's going to run himself, and he slides down. And a flag's going to come in late as Zarik Ray, number 49, kind of took the hit there as the defender going in on the quarterback, Bodette, who was sliding down to give himself up. And then the flags came in after that had happened.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Defense, 15-yard penalty for the end of the run. First down.
So that goes against the defense of the Britons on the unnecessary roughness after the contact hit to Beaudet, who slid to the turf to give himself up. Clock will now wind after the chains have been set. Under 7 minutes to play. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Beaudet pump fakes, throws down the left sideline, and this one is caught. And getting that foot in is number 21, Alejandro Alvarez, the freshman from Miami, Florida. And another first down for the Cougars. Ball spotted at the Britons' 36-yard line. And the carry here goes to Martins for a gain of about 4. Makes it second down now. So ball on the far hash, ball at the 32-yard line. Second down and 6. So we approach 6 minutes to play here in regulation. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. As Beaudet will step up and roll to his right, throw it down the near sideline. Pass is caught. It'll be a first and goal for the Cougars. Kenneth Woods, the freshman, with another catch. So first and goal from the 6-yard line as the Cougars look to score once again. 2 to the left and right respectively receivers-wise, as Beaudet's going to keep it himself, and he is going to tumble forward to the goal line, but he's going to be stopped at about the 1. He's going to be just short, and it'll make it second and goal. As Beaudet, and the handoff, and up the middle, it's Jones for the Cougar touchdown. Andre Jones, the freshman running back from Indianapolis, Indiana, puts his team now within 17, 57-40, with 5:32 to play here in the 4th. Quite the offensive explosion here overall from both teams today. And we get a whistle. A 2-point conversion was going to be attempted there by the Cougars. As Albion now will call a timeout. That's their second timeout of the half. They have 1 remaining. Cougars still have all 3 of theirs. But assuming the Cougars can make this make the 2-point conversion here, that makes it a 15-point deficit. And in essence, it's really still a 2-possession game only. Again, for our next Cougars football home game, will be on October 6th for a 2:15 p.m. kickoff against Aurora University. As that's when the heart of the conference season begins. As we mentioned in October, they have 4 conference games overall on all Saturdays of October. 3 of them will be at home. Aurora, Eureka, and Rockford. And the road one will be at Concordia, Wisconsin. Beaudet for the 2-point conversion attempt. The throw to the right. Pass is caught. And getting in is Eric Hoff. And it's 57-42. And Cougars ain't going down without a fight here on their home turf on this Saturday afternoon. So if you're Concordia, that's exactly what you ordered up. With just under 5.5 to play, and if you can get a stop here quickly, and you've got all 3 of your timeouts, this game can get a lot more interesting. And they were down by as much as 30 at one point. So it's been 15 unanswered here from the Cougars. As the crowd here at Concordia Stadium getting a little more lively. Have to wonder if an onside kick attempt will forthcome from the Cougars down by 15. Orlando Hayes out there to kick it. 8 guys are lined up right outside the 45, with 2 right behind the midfield at the 50, and you've got Marlon Martin back deep at about his own 15-yard line. So Albion anticipating a short onside kick attempt coming. As Hayes gets set, we'll see what they do here. And they do boot it away. And calling for the fair catch there at his own 10-yard line was Marlon Martin. This way you don't run any attempt of losing the football on any kickoff return there.
Under the new rule this year, the fair catch will come out to the 25-yard line.
So you just heard the ruling there from the PA announcer and Jim Egan. That is the new college rule this year. If you do call a fair catch inside your own goal line area, as the run here to McCoy is carried for a first down and more just at the 40 now, and they get an extra push closer to the 45. So that becomes a big run there from Markel McCoy. If you fair catch it within your own area as that, the ruling is they have the fair catch and the ball is automatically spotted at the 25-yard line. So it's not like we're on a punt return. You call for a fair catch and the offense comes out where the fair catch had come. It's different on kickoffs. So off the run, there was a gain of 18 on that run from Markel McCoy. First down and 10 on their own 43 are the Britons, as we now have under 5 minutes to play in the game. And taking their time here on with the play clock winding down under 15 seconds are the Britons. Looks like Thomas is now back in at quarterback. Kyle Thomas, the sophomore, hands it off to McCoy once again. That's a gain of about 9 yards. And Markel McCoy has had quite the strong second half in place of Doug Freeman, who got the well-deserved rest. So that's both backs now with over 100 yards today. Freeman with 20 carries and 203 yards and a touchdown. McCoy with 10 carries, 126 yards and a touchdown. So a two-headed back monster led by the senior in Freeman and the junior in McCoy. And the other running back, the second stringer on the depth chart, Zach Serzo, 5 carries, 39 yards. 2nd and 1. Thomas keeps it, those to his left. Pass is caught to the sophomore in Darius Case for a loss of a few. And then now brings up 3rd down. We have just a little over 3.5 to go. Ball back at the 49-yard line. As again, Albion just trying to take as much time off as they can here. Crowd's starting to get more lively here at Concordia Stadium. I can feel a little bit of a rally brewing here over the last 5 or so minutes of gameplay. A big 3rd down here for Albion. Thomas. He is going to try to escape, and he will. And that is going to be enough for the first down by about a yard. And that'll move the chains as they get into Cougar territory. So a big 3rd down converted by the sophomore quarterback, Kyle Thomas. Clock will now continue to wind as we now have under 3 minutes to play. And that may have taken any last gasps of a Concordia Cougar rally today. First down and 10 at the Cougars 46. Play clock down to 5. 2 out to the right, 1 to the left. And McCoy will get it on the handoff. He'll barrel his way to the left side. And another impressive run from Markel McCoy. And a whistle and I believe a first timeout's been used from the Cougars.
Timeout, Concordia.
So they call their first timeout. They still have 2 remaining. Again, a bye week coming up for both teams. The Britons will begin Mid-America Athletics Conference play at Alma on the 29th for a 1 o'clock kickoff. And your Cougars, as we mentioned, get this next weekend off, and they begin NACC conference play on the 29th at Lakeland University. And Lakeland 0-1 so far on the season, coming into play today. As we have 2:21 remaining here in the fourth quarter. And thanks for joining us here on this Saturday afternoon from Concordia Stadium here on the Concordia Cougars Network. I'm Ryan Fay with you here on today's call. It's been a pleasure to come out here on a beautiful sun-shining day here in River Forest. It'll be second down and short coming up for the Britons now off of the Cougars timeout. And we get a whistle, and looks like there was an issue with the chains on the far side of the field. And it looks like we are now good to go. Second down and 2. 2 receivers out to the right, 1 to the left. McCoy is going to get the handoff once again. And another first down ran there by Markel McCoy. Clock stops at 2:16. It'll continue to wind once the chains are set. (57-42). Britons up by 15. They had a big third quarter in which they outscored the Cougars in that third quarter 28-7. So now under 2 minutes to play here in regulation. And a whistle and a penalty flag comes out. And that's going to be a false start, and that'll back up Albion 5.
Mine's basically that.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, number 87, 5-yard penalty, first down.
That's the senior Brian Blanzy. So that backs up the Britons 5 yards. That'll put him at the 39 now of Concordia. Thomas will give this one to McCoy once again, who is able to just somehow escape the holes of the tackle box in front of him as he gains a couple, as another timeout's called by the Cougars, as there's 100 seconds remaining here in regulation. Again, I want to thank the great guys behind the scenes making this whole production possible, and Joel Krenz, Neil O'Donnell, Matthew Kricka, and Zach Adamick. Both teams now with 1 timeout apiece. I'll just update you on some stats here from our game here today. Kyle Thomas, 15 completions on 29 attempts with 4 touchdown passes, an INT, and 185 yards through the air. Sam Blanzy, who got a series in earlier as well, went 3 for 5 for 10 yards. Colby Canfield led the way receiving-wise, 5 catches, 75 yards, and a touchdown. Marlon Martin, 3 catches, 51 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Darius Case with 4 catches, 22 yards, and a touchdown as well. But the big story of this Britons offense today has been the running game of Doug Freeman and Markel McCoy, who have combined for 343 rushing yards between those two men. As this second down run gets a gain of about 4, and that'll bring up third down in about 9.
Concordia.
And Concordia takes their final timeout. Serzo with 5 carries for 39 yards for the Britons today. And on the side for your Cougars, the junior and Lance Moyes, 26 carries, 268 yards on the ground with a touchdown run. Taylor Martin, 6 carries, 26 yards in the touchdown run. And on the receiving end, Eric Hoff, 4 catches, 76 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
The clock will start on my whistle.
And I think the official just ruled that it wasn't Concordia that called a timeout. So the clock's going to start on the whistle of the head official. It looks like it was I think a Britons timeout, because, or maybe it was an official's timeout, either way. Each team still has 1 timeout regardless. McCoy with a move inside, and that is going to be inside the 20-yard line for yet another Britons first down. And that should just about do it from Concordia Stadium here today with that first down run. It's not to imagine just a few more snaps, and that'll do it today, as the Britons are going to look to go to 3-0 on the season, while the Cougars will fall to 1-2 on their 2018 campaign. Thomas is going to keep it and spin around. He's running out of room. He still finds a positive gain out of it. Stiff arms one defender and gets inside the 15-yard line for a gain of about 6. Nice athletic play there from the sophomore quarterback. And a whistle. Whistle after the play. Didn't see the official signal as to why. Clock does stop though. As there is an injured Cougar down on the field. Injured Cougar down the near 15-yard line. Again, didn't see who went down. Not the way you want to see it end for the Cougars here with an injury with just under a minute to play. Here down by 15. But again, our next Cougar football broadcast will be on October 6th for a 2:15 p.m. kick. University. And Aurora so far coming into play on this Saturday is 0-2. And on the sidelines there was Mario Coley, the sophomore defensive back from Miramar, Florida. Zoom play now. Surzo will get the carry. Surzo up the middle, and Surzo is going to stumble just short of going at the 1. And they'll put it at 1st and goal at about the half-yard line. Clock stops at 45 seconds. It'll start once the chain's set. As coming in now is Sam Blanzy, the senior backup quarterback. But also is Kyle Thomas, so I think it's just they're going to take the knee, and that'll do it for our contest today here at Concordia Stadium. And that will be the final play of this afternoon. So a big third quarter from the Britons is what got them to a road victory here at Concordia Stadium. They were outscored in this fourth quarter 15-7 by the Cougars, but in the end, it was the big third quarter from the Britons that put up 28 points in that third quarter, and that was the big difference in the end. The Britons to go 3-0 on the season and make the Cougar season fall to 1-2. Both teams shake hands. Today again, our next football broadcast of Concordia Cougars football will be on October 6th when they welcome Aurora University for a 2:15 p.m. kickoff. Their next game, though, comes up on